Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. The wait for more No Man's Sky news may finally be over, thanks to a new tweet from the game's composer. Musician Paul Weir confirmed on Twitter this week that new content for No Man's Sky is in development and will include brand new music for the game. That might not sound like much to go on at all, but we've heard virtually nothing from the developer for quite some time. No Man's Silence started almost a month ago, with neither lead developer Sean Murray nor Hello Games having uttered a word since the game's last patch. At this point, you kind of have to wonder if there will be anyone left to even play the new content, considering the game hit an all-time low this week as well, of less than 1,000 concurrent players at one time on Steam. It is encouraging that new content for the game is in active development, although it's doubtful that it'll have, everything that people were wanting from the game in the first place. Following Dark Souls 3, fans have been wondering what From Software has planned for its next project. As it turns out, they're actually working on 3 titles all at the same time, according to a new interview. Speaking with IGN at Tokyo Game Show, studio boss Hidetaka Miyazaki confirmed that they are working on Armored Core, a follow-up to their mech franchise that last appeared on PS2 and Xbox 360. He also said they're working on something that will fall more in line with fan expectations, and that their last project is, quote, weird. So weird, in fact, that Miyazaki believes that when we actually announce the title, probably fans will react with, oh, what the hell is this very weird game that Miyazaki has created? The game fans are probably the most interested in is that second one, as Miyazaki has previously said he wouldn't be returning to the Souls franchise anytime soon. But maybe he'll pull a Kojima and make like 4 more after he promised 3 was the last one. I mean, we can dream, right? Video game analyst Michael Pachter made headlines for all the wrong reasons yesterday, mostly for referring to PC gamers as being like racists, in addition to calling them arrogant twits, in a newly published report by the Daily Star. However, Pachter has now responded to that report in order to set the record straight. PC Games then reached out to the Pachter, who says that the quote was an unfortunate choice and that the racist comparison was a poor analogy. According to Pachter, the comment was made in a 10-minute interview where the Daily Star tried to get more and more inflammatory statements out of him. I mean, which they did to great success, I think. He also insists that the arrogant twits comment is simply untrue and not something he ever said. Pachter said, I'm sure that I somehow said arrogant, but twit is just a word I wouldn't use. I'm not altogether sure what it means for what it's worth. Well, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one, Pac, but hopefully you didn't actually say like twat instead of twit, because that's not better. After nearly 20 years of service, another titan of the video game industry is leaving it behind, only this time, it's not a person, it's a network. That's right, the world-famous Battlenet is being officially retired by Blizzard, or at least the name is. Blizzard made the announcement on the World of Warcraft forums that it was killing Battlenet, saying, we're going to be transitioning away from using the Battlenet name for our gaming service and the functionality connected to it. The reason for the change? Branding! In the post, the company states that they ran into some confusion and inefficiencies from having their services fall under both Blizzard and Battlenet. They'll now be renaming it to the oh-so-exciting moniker, Blizzard Tech. Not nearly as cool as Battlenet, guys. Sorry. It's a shame that they're cutting this off now. In less than 2 months, the service would be hitting its 20th anniversary. You couldn't just maybe give it a few more weeks before pulling the plug? Wasn't even old enough to drink yet. Atlas Games recently had some adventures in Localization. The company responsible for the Shin Megami Tensei series ran into a little bit of a snafu after Redditors found untranslated Japanese text in the new Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. Atlas has totally owned up to the mistake in a new blog post, and apparently the reason the text went unnoticed is, get this, because Atlas's playtesters are just too good at the game. As part of the boss fight, your in-game partners can get knocked out, and the untranslated text in question happens when the boss gives you a dialogue option while they're knocked out. Atlas writes, our testers who have been with the company for quite a while and who are well versed in all things SMT, I think a few of them also were QA for the original SMT4, were so good they never ran into the situation of having an unconscious partner during the fight and henceforth the dialogue in question. After all the commotion about DC's less than well-received universe in theaters, it seems the head of Time Warner is finally acknowledging that they might have just a few problems. CEO Jeff Beeks made these comments in a meeting with the company's investors where he said their DC cinematic efforts have, quote, a little room for improvement. However, it's an understatement of the year. However, he also said it's all good because they still made plenty of money, which for an investor call is an appropriate thing to say. And it hit close to what the company planned, so that's all good. As for potential changes with upcoming films, Buke stressed that future movies would in fact be a little bit lighter and blamed the current problems with the movies on creative, meaning the writing and direction. Sure, it was just that, and definitely not the attempt to rush Justice League movie in as little time as possible. Well, I guess the movie's not out yet, so we'll see. We've known about the Reddit effect, which is when a rush of traffic from Reddit brings a website to its knees, but we've never seen it throttle an entire country before. But that's exactly what happened this week when Reddit crippled all of North Korea's internet. Earlier this week, the DNS for all of the .kp domain leaked, revealing that North Korea only has 28 websites that its citizens are allowed to visit. Once the list made it over to Reddit, Redditors began a charge to find out as much about the 28 websites as humanly possible, which then promptly took North Korea offline. The thread itself is full of some pretty hilarious observations, like the fact that Grand Theft Auto 5 has a bigger fake internet than North Korea's fake internet. GTA has 83 websites compared to North Korea's 28, which is amazing. Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, No, it's just China's Tiangong space station. The country confirmed this week that the station they abandoned in recent months is actually no longer under their control. And more than that, it's gonna fall back to Earth sometime in like 2017. No big deal. Typically, when a space station or satellite falls back to Earth, it's done in a controlled burn that has a higher chance of making sure no debris makes it back to our planet. However, Tiangong's re-entry won't be that way at all, and China has no way of knowing when or where it will make its reappearance, meaning that some debris could land in populated areas. Fortunately, that's not very likely since most of our planet is covered in water and not by people, but it's still just a little bit frightening, just a tad. I mean, this is how Dead Like Me started. What do you guys think of stories from today's roundup? Let us know in the comments. And for future updates from every corner of the internet, like this video and subscribe to The Know. And if you're feeling particularly stylish, you could, I don't know, get a style a new shirt. Just saying, I think it's cool. You don't have to think it's cool, but you might. I think it's cool. It's a good shirt. I'm excited. This is our first shirt. But, you know, the patch one doesn't count. I like it.